What's up everybody, it is DMan. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Saitek ProFlight Yoke. It's a yoke for aircraft simulation on PC, and it comes with a nice little throttle quadrant, and we're going to be reviewing it right about now. So we will start with the yoke itself. This is a yoke. It's made from plastic here and here. It's got a metal shaft in here that I'll show you in a minute, and it has a mount underneath the desk that we'll take a closer look at in a minute. Again, it comes in and about 3 centimeters. Moving around to the side of the yoke, underneath here we have a very simple clamp. It attaches to the. In terms of wires, if we go around to the back of the yoke, we can see that it has a little built-in USB hub. This one right here is a special connector for the throttle quadrant that plugs right in there. This one here is currently plugged into my switch panel, that's not part of this video. And that one's for external power. There's 2 spare slots here. You can pop. I have my rudder pedals plugged in somewhere else, but if you want you can plug in anything to connect. It's very, very simple. That plugs into there, and this cable goes into your computer, and you get the drivers, and it all works pretty nicely. This is the throttle quad. It has 3 separate levers. Normally they'd come with a red one, a blue one, and a black one. I have 2 blacks and a blue because normally it's intended for mixture, prop, and throttle. But at the minute I've got these set to spoilers, throttle, and flaps for flying larger jets. The throttle quad also has a little click button at the bottom there. I have that set for reverse thrust on the throttle lever, and also has these little buttons down here that aren't set for anything. It attaches to the base with 4 little screws which are missing from mine, so at the minute it's blue tacked, but it's pretty rock solid, it's not going anywhere. And in terms of attaching to the desk, it's the same as the yoke. It just screws on there. Probably a little bit of a bad angle, but you know, it clamps it on pretty strongly. I've had no issues with it moving. So let's move on to features. Alrighty then, here we are in Flight Sim. I have the yoke set up in front of me. We're in R172 and we're just gonna do a little bit of free flight and see how the yoke feels. So before takeoff, we're just gonna set up our flaps. We're gonna get everything sorted the way it should be, and once it's ready, we're gonna go ahead and take off. We're in Saitek Airport, you know, tried and tested. So let's just go ahead. You can see there behind the second yoke that the flaps are being set, and we're gonna go ahead and take off now that they're in position. Oh yeah. 172 looking hot. I'm using rudder pedals, but you know, we'll talk about that another time. Alrighty then, ready for takeoff, power up, and here we go. 20 knots, 30 knots, 40 knots. It's not a fast plane. It's really not a fast plane. I know some people will be complaining about the fact that I'm in Flight Simulator X, but fear not. A Flight Simulator 2020 video is on the way, so please make sure that you are subscribed for that, otherwise you're gonna miss it. I've been flying Flight Sim for about 2 years, and I'm very excited to get hands on the new Flight Simulator, coming soon to DMan's vids. So now that we're in the air, we're just gonna go ahead and we're just gonna, you know, we're gonna fly around a bit. We're gonna see how it feels. You know, it's all right. You know, as far as yokes go, this is sort of the more budget option. One problem that I'm noticing here is, as you noticed in the video, the yoke tilts to about 40 or 45 degrees on each side, but if you notice in this aircraft, the yoke goes to 90 degrees. So what that means is that, as in the real world, as you approach the maximum of either side, what you get is the yoke in the simulation speeding up, so the turn. So what that means
is you have less control over the more extreme half or so of the ailerons, and that can be a concern if you're flying aerobatics, but I imagine most people will not be flying aerobatics. Just a hunch, but you know. Apart from that, it's feeling pretty good. You might notice in the video that I put some Vaseline on the metal shaft of the yoke. That was to improve the feeling, because before that it was sticking, and I was like, you know what, this is DMan's beds, we're not having that. So what I did was I took the yoke apart and I put Vaseline all over the shaft. The shaft goes all the way into the center and attaches to like a lot of sensors and stuff, and I just covered it in Vaseline, and I said, you know what, that feels a lot better. And it does, it feels a lot better. It's massively improved it. Some people have replaced the springs inside with elastic bands, but we're not going to get into that. The throttle quadrant is feeling pretty good. The levers feel pretty strong. It's pretty sturdy on the desk, like I said. The levers are pretty responsive, you know, no complaints. It's a 172 leg, so you know, it's not too strenuous. But everything is going nice and smoothly so far. The yoke feels pretty good. The throttle quadrant feels pretty good. The rudder pedals feel pretty good as well, but that's for another video. If you are interested in purchasing the ProFlight yoke, Logitech sell on their website for about £270 with rudder pedals. So you get the yoke, the throttle quadrant and rudder pedals, and that's like a good basis to get you started off from in flight sim. Or you can find them cheaper on eBay, because let's face it, £270 is a lot. However, funnily enough, in the flight sim world, that's pretty much the cheapest option, the cheapest decent option anyway, for sure. I will put a link to the yoke, like the combo deal that Logitech do, in the description down below, so you can go and take a look at that. Alright, I just thought that seeing as we were just sort of floating around a bit, it's not much is happening, you know what I mean? Let's pick it up a notch. We're in the F-18, we're back at Saitek Airport, we're going to be firing on the throttles and we're going to be showing this yoke how it's done. So I'm just going to turn on the flaps here, and you can see them extending. That is wonderful. And you can see there's a spoiler with the left hand stick, and lovely. Got a bit of afterburners, fantastic. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, here we go. This is more like it, boys. This is more like it. This is the acceleration we're talking about here. Look at that. Look at that. Gotta pull back. Nice and gentle. There we go. Beautiful. So I'm just going to flick the little lever that is underneath the view change button, and that's going to let me pull up the gear. Yep, there we go. That's fine. We're just going to climb up to about, I don't know, 5,000 odd feet. That should do. Yeah, it's feeling pretty nice. It's feeling pretty nice. It's obviously this is quite a responsive plane, and the yoke does feel quite good in doing these little tight, like aerobatic maneuvers. Ah, shut up. We're gonna go into a dive. That feels pretty good. Pull back on the stick. Lovely. Nice, nice, nice. Yep, I don't really have any complaints about this yoke, apart from, you know, they could have given a little bit more travel forwards, backwards, left to right. But you know, it feels okay for the price. The throttle quadrant's pretty good. You know, if you're just getting started in flight simulation, it is perfect. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and fly back to Saitek Airport, I think, because I want to see what happens when we land this son of a gun, this big old Foxtrot 1.8. So we're going to turn around and we're going to go back to Saitek Airport and we're going to see how that goes. I'll meet you over there. Alrighty, here we are on the approach for not runway 08, the other end. Whatever the other end of runway 08 is, something around that. We've got a landing gear down, we're going to set our flaps, we're on the approach, we're coming in far too low, far too high. Yeah, far too high. We're coming in far too high, we're coming in far too fast, we're going to completely destroy our landing gear, we're going to break every single person's spines. But you know what? This is DMan's vids, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're about to land at City of Dare Airport. I would request at this time that you remain seated and be advised that the airline will not pay for any medical fees obtained as a result of this landing. Thank you very much for flying DMan Airways. Alright, here we go. We've got, it's looking a bit slightly little low, but we're still coming in about 300 knots. So, cross your fingers and hope we go. Oh my god, that's very, very fast. A little bit of rudder, and we're down. Okay, we're down. This isn't too bad. We're on the wrong way. We're down. This is good. Just gonna. Oh no. No. Stop. Oh dear. We're still. No, near. No. Well, that is just about it from me. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. Give me a heads up to what you enjoy and what you don't. If you enjoyed Flight Sim content, let me know. As I said, Flight Sim 2020 video is on the way. Once again, I've been DMan, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.